Hi guys, welcome to another edition of All Things Football. Today I've got two guests with me. Firstly, let me introduce a friend of mine, Jason Ronnie. Welcome to the show, your first time.
Yes, good to be here. Thank you for having me.
And then we've got a very, very special guest. He's currently doing wonderful things for Cape Town City. So wonderful that he's now earned a national call-up to the Bafana Bafana squad for World Cup qualifiers. So it's a special welcome. Terrence Mashego, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick icebreaker just to sort of get the laughs going. But yeah, it's a question for both of you. In fact, I'll answer it as well. So the question is, icebreaker, which former PSL player would you want to be a current player currently? So in other words, if he played in the PSL before, but he doesn't play anymore, which player would you want that player to still be around in the PSL in his prime currently? So I would answer it and say Tulani Serrero. He was someone who was built in a similar stature to me, small, but he could do amazing things on the football field. So that's my player. But I want to hear your answers as well. So I'll start with Jason and then off to our special guest.
Okay, so I'll go two players. Actually one. No, let's just go one. I've always grown up supporting Sundowns. So if I could have Godfrey Sapula back in the PSL, I'd be over the moon. I myself played a bit, so I would model a little bit of my game on him. And he was just calm, always on the ball, always picking the right pass, and yeah, was a very good team under Ted Dimitru and that time of there. So yeah, that's my selection.
I think I'll definitely go with Biennale, like the soul.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, like that guy was an exceptional winger, to be honest. Like I don't think like at this point in time we do have such wingers who would take on a defender like just like a Biennale, because for me, like he was a difficult winger to mark. Like he was a difficult player to deal with. So I would definitely recommend someone like a Biennale to come back.
Some very interesting answers, and I can't disagree with either of them. But Terrence, just to sort of start off, how did you get into football? Being a professional footballer with Cape Town City currently, but a lot of people don't know. How did you get to this point? What sort of got you into football and to play professionally as well?
To me, like I started, in a township, like growing up in a township, the only thing that you can do in a township is to play football, because that's the only, I'd say, the physical activity that is available in the township. So I started playing football at the township until my parents decided that, you know what, like now you guys need to find a specific, let's say, a well-planned area whereby you play football, because normally would break windows at home and stuff. So the parents were tired. So they said, you guys need to find a well-organized place whereby you'll play football. Then that's when I decided to join the local team. It was called Junior Lovers. Then that's where my career started. I started playing under 13. Then from there, I joined Martimo. There was a team at Tax. Tax is divided. Different teams with different names. So it was called Martimo. I was playing for Tax. Then I moved to Acadia Shepherd.
Okay.
So that was development. Acadia Shepherd, it was development. Then after I matriculated, I went to an University of Technology. That's when I started playing varsity football. Then while playing varsity football, then I started to notice that, no, you know what, like I can actually make a career out of football, like because there's an opportunity, like I can grow, I can do something like for myself. Then I decided to take football serious. That's when I joined Tata Bucks in the Eastern Cape. Yeah, but my journey to Tata Bucks, it wasn't easy, to be honest, because my first season, it was difficult. I couldn't even get a game time. I didn't play even a single game. In the following season, I played about 10 games. Yeah, but from those 2 seasons, like I would say I've learned a lot and matured as a player. because at the time when I joined Tata Bucks, I was still young at the time. So after those 2 seasons, like I started understanding the demands of football, like the demands of a professional setup. Then when I joined TS Galaxy, I was ready because I had an advantage because I knew everything, like what is needed in a well-organized environment. Then from TS Galaxy, I played 2 seasons. Then I joined Cape Town City.
That's quite the journey you had there. I mean, very good setups. Arcadia Shepherds, household name back in the day. Even the whole University of Pretoria tuck setup really is one that I've always liked, because it's definitely, if it's not the education route and varsity football, then you have that outlet to potentially go to the NFDC side. And then TS Galaxy, man, geez, and then Cape Town City. Nothing short of what that's probably been about 6 years, maybe 6-7 years potentially.
Yeah, it's been 7 years now. 7 years.
7 years. Oh man, what a rise. Look, everybody obviously knows that you're at Cape Town City. Everybody's seen Wednesday night's match against Swallows. And now Cape Town City into the final against Sundowns, looking very good, chance at the silverware. But while you were at TS Galaxy, you had obviously won Nedbank Cup, playing against the mighty Amakosi. What was that run like for you? Because during that period, you guys took out, I think it was Ajax, Shoma Cosmos, quite a few household names. What did that feel like, going into that tournament and even just ending up in that final?
Like, to be honest, when we started, because, in the NFT, like, the focus is on winning the league. It's not about the Nedbank. Nedbank is just a cherry on top. So our focus was on winning the league. So when we started, I think first game we played against Ajax, and then we won that game. Then second game we played against, I think, Jomo Cosmos, Then we came to Cape Town, we played against Cape Umoya. And then after the Cape Umoya game, we're like, okay, now we're into semifinals.
Yeah.
Then that's when our coach started to say, you know what, guys, actually, like, as much as our focus is on the league, but I think we can definitely win this Nedbank Cup. It'll definitely open doors for us. So when we played the semi-final after winning against Golden Arrows, then we saw an opportunity and we said, you know what, we're no longer going back now. We're going to win this one.
Yeah.
So we were waiting, either going to play Kaizer Chiefs or cheaper, like we were ready.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it was an amazing experience. Like, playing a cup final, like, it's a special thing. I don't want to even now, like, I'm happy that I'm going to play the MTN8 final because I already know how it feels like to play a cup final.
Yeah. No, that's great, man. I mean, I think having that experience of actually being there and also playing against one of South Africa's greats, I think that can only help you. It can only help the team. Obviously, Cape Town City filled with many stars who've played there before, but you as a youngster having that experience, that can only really help you. It can only really help the team. And man, I'm just looking forward. I have to admit that I'm a Sundowns fan, so I'm a tad bit torn now. Now that I'm doing this thing with you, I'm thinking, okay, must I support Terrence Mashego? But let's leave that for the final day. Coming from TS Galaxy to Cape Town City, what has been some of the major adjustments that you've had to make, or what are sort of the differences that you've encountered coming from TS to now coming to Cape Town? Beautiful city, beautiful mountains, all of those, but also you're here to play football. So putting all that aside, what are some of the adjustments that you've had to make?
Yeah, in terms of like, I would say in terms of football, like, I don't want to lie, like the DStv Premiership standard compared to the what is it called, the Glad Africa.
Yeah.
Like the standard is it's completely different. Like, I don't want to lie, because in the NFD, like it's more of a physical, like it's a more physical battle, like in most cases. Then in the DStv, like teams, they do play, and like teams, they do sit down, like they do a lot of analysis. Then they analyze players, and then most teams, like, they play and they have strategies, like, so there's a lot, like, to the game. So even you as a player, like there's a lot that you need to do, especially when you're preparing for a game. Like you need to study your opponent, like you need to study the game, you need to study like you need to study your own game and also the opponent's game. So it's difficult compared to the NFD. In the NFD, like we don't even analyze the teams. You just go to a game, then we're going to fight. So it was sort of like I'd say a difficult transformation, but it didn't take me time to adjust. You know, because I was open to learning. Like I was open to learning. I also wanted to develop. I also wanted to improve as a player. So I'd say it was difficult, but I managed to adjust quickly. And then in terms of also the lifestyle, like outside football, like I would say it wasn't that difficult because as much as I didn't grow up in Cape Town, but I wasn't that familiar with the place. But I would say because I grew up in a city, like I was born in Pretoria, so it wasn't that difficult for me to adjust.
Speaking of adjustments, Terrence, you've now made the Bafana squad, and that shows that you've not only adjusted to life in Cape Town, but you're actually excelling and doing very well, which I noticed, and I felt that the school up is long overdue, because you have done well for a lengthy period of time. But I want to get your thoughts on the actual call up, your first call up to the senior national team. What it's been like, and also what are your ambitions in terms of getting a starting place for World Cup qualifier, which is so massive, seeing that we now just beat Ghana in the previous game and we're sitting joint top of our group at the moment. So what are your thoughts on the Bafana call up? What was it like when you got that phone call to say you're in the squad? Tell us about that.
To be honest, I was excited. Like I don't want to like I was excited because this was the moment that I've been planning. Like this is the moment that I was preparing for, like my whole life since I started the football thing. Like I believe each and every individual that is playing football, like he wants to play for the national team. So that was my ambition. So after I received that call, like I was excited. Even the first time, like when they played Ghana and Zimbabwe, like I also felt like, okay, maybe I deserved like the call up, but at the same time, I was like, you know what, like I need to be patient. Like I need to be patient with myself. Like I need to wait for the right time. All I have to do is just for me to continue, like because if I'm consistent with my game, then definitely like the coach is watching, then one day he'll give me a chance. So I was busy preparing myself for this moment. So when I got this call up, like I was like, okay, now is the right time. Like let me just go out there and then enjoy and prove myself and prove to the nation that I deserve to be there.
You definitely deserve it.
Yeah. No, I'd look. What I was just gonna say is that like hard work gets rewarded, and like Wasim says, we've been watching, and obviously national team coach has been watching. It's just that consistency that you've shown. Nothing flashy, doing exactly what you need to do for the team, getting forward. So yeah, man, just huge congrats for that, and just wishing you all of the very best for that, man. Looking maybe just a tad bit further than that, past the MTN8 final, what are your ambitions for maybe the next few years, maybe three to 5? Do you potentially see yourself playing somewhere overseas, Europe, after everybody that's gone, every South African that's actually made it over there? Do you see that's actually a viable option for you?
Yeah, to be honest, I believe it's possible because if you could check the likes of Tshepo Masilela, they also went to overseas. Like, so when I started, like I told myself that I want to be in the English Premier League one day.
Yeah.
That's why even my name, my Twitter name before, it was EPL product. Like I used to call myself EPL product because that's my biggest ambition. Like I want to see myself overseas. So I knew that the only way, like the only route to use or to take for me to be in the overseas, like I need to represent, I need to play in the national team. So for like now, as I'm getting this opportunity, I know that if I prove myself, if I do well for the national team, then definitely someone out there will be able to scout me and give me an opportunity.
Yeah. No, that's great, man. I think all we all we need is just really that foot, you know, just to open the door just a little bit, and then that's like, give us the chance, give us the platform, and that's how we would that's how we'd be able to make it there, man. Shifting a tad bit of the focus, we have a feature now that we'll just call rapid fire questions. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions, quick questions, and you will just give your opinion or answers. Okay, is that cool?
Okay.
Nothing too serious. Don't worry. Don't worry too much. Okay, so having started playing recently, who would you consider your toughest opponent has been so far?
I'd say maybe Thabo Matlawa, maybe Thabo Matlawa.
Okay.
Because I would say Thabo Matlawa. But for me, like the toughest opponent, like it's who's this guy? Mudau. I think Mudau.
Okay.
The one, the right back of Sundowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Moving on. Best moment in football thus far?
I'd say the goal that I scored against Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my best moment so far.
Okay. No, that's great. Your favorite friend in football?
It's Tato Mokeke.
Tato Mokeke. Mr. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, that's good, man. That's good. Okay. Ideal pre-match meal?
It's just maybe spaghetti or macaroni, and then with mince, and chicken.
Okay. Standard, Standard. You know, get the right carbs, proteins, all of those things. Two more. Who would you say that you try to model your footballing game on? Is there somebody specifically, or is it just Mr. Mashego, straight and true? That's just your style.
Like as I was growing up, like I used to call myself Simpwe Chala. Like I used to love Simpwe Chala.
Yeah.
But when I started playing as a left back, then I started watching David Alaba.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd say I've modeled my football around David Alaba.
Okay. That's two very good models to actually look at. You know, Simpwe was had a very long career here locally, and then obviously David Alaba as well. You know. And then last one, which generally divides population a bit: Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi?
It's Messi for me.
Messi for you. Okay. Football purist. No, lovely stuff, man. Thank you for that. Good answers, man.
Definitely the right answer, because both Jason and I, we both are Messi fans. So definitely the right answer, and so you can't go wrong with that choice. Just also what I want to do, my last question I want to answer. We've got the MTN 8 Cup final coming up. What are your thoughts on that? And you know, do you believe Cape Town City can win it?
I think with the current squad that we have, like if you could check on paper, like we do have quality players. I think we do have 2 11 best. I would say 2 11 best. Like any team, like any player can play and start. So I believe like we do stand a chance to win this cup. And for the fact that we're playing Sundowns in the final, it's also a motivation. Like, you know, even now, like I've been getting messages, like everyone has been texting me, say, hey, you need to beat those guys. Like you need to beat those guys. Like hey, they've been talking. So you need to win. So like it's a motivation to play Sundowns for me. Like I think Sundowns is the right team to play in the final.
Yeah. Definitely. And on behalf of all things football, Terrence, we just want to say congrats on the Bafana call-up and for also reaching the MTN 8 final. We are going to be behind you 100%. So well done again. And I want to thank you for your time you've made. I mean, you've got a busy schedule coming up. You're going to be traveling with the national team. So I want to say good luck for that. And thank you for making yourself available. It was definitely an enjoyable show, and one that we are very proud to host you. So thank you for that, Terrence, and also Jason for coming on. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and to share the interview with as many friends and family as you have. So.